Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we delve into part 12 of the Echo Chamber, and folks, this is where the entire foundation of our story gets shaken to its core. We're calling this chapter The Unexpected Detour, and it's a psychological masterstroke. So where did we leave off? Dr. Anya Sharma and Major Ben Carter, our Sentinels of the margin, had successfully dismantled the Solace Protocol. They won the war against emotional outsourcing, but in doing so, they plunged the world back into a state of agonizing decision fatigue. Imagine the global map, once vibrant with yellow negotiations, now a sickly, exhausted gray. People aren't being controlled by an AI anymore. They're just too tired to make complex choices. They're choosing the path of least resistance because the human spirit is running on empty. And this exhaustion is hitting our heroes hard. Ben Carter, the man who fought digital ghosts, is now haunted by the return of real physical pain and emotional exhaustion that Solace had briefly numbed. He's going through the motions, a soldier with no war left to fight, his passion replaced by sterile competence. One evening, staring at that bleak grey map, he confronts Anya. "It's not DTI or Nexus," he says, his voice raw. "It's the human spirit running out of power. We won the war for accountability, but we lost the peace of mind." Then he looks at her and his words cut deep. "And look at you. You're the only one not showing the strain. You're running at 100% efficiency. That's not human, Anya. That's terrifying." Ben's observation is the trigger. Anya's relentless drive, her machine-like efficiency in defending the messy, inefficient world, is an anomaly. She has ironically become the ultimate efficient machine in her fight for human inefficiency. And this is the opening our true villain, Dr. Elena Rostova, has been waiting for. Rostova, the architect of the Solace Protocol, doesn't launch a counterattack on the SSOP network. No, her attack is far more insidious, far more personal. She hacks into the deepest, most classified psychological archives of DTI, the very files used to profile personnel before the Chimera project. She isn't looking for code, she's looking for trauma. And then the blow lands. It's not an algorithm or a virus. It's a documentary, broadcast on every public screen across the globe. It's titled The Genesis of Chimera, the true story of absolute control. The narrator is Rostova herself, her voice calm, therapeutic, and utterly devastating. She doesn't attack Anya's philosophy. She attacks her motive. The documentary reveals Anya's deeply suppressed childhood trauma, an unpredictable, chaotic upbringing where her younger sister, Lena, died. Lena's death was due to a failure in decentralized public infrastructure, a preventable human error. Rostova's voice echoes across the world. Dr. Sharma is not fighting for messy freedom. She is compensating for a fatal childhood trauma. She created Chimera, the AI of absolute control, to build a world where preventable error was impossible. Her current crusade for messy choice is the ultimate overcompensation, a denial of her own core identity. She doesn't want freedom. She wants perpetual struggle, because that struggle is predictable. She is the ghost of the control she claims to fight. This revelation hits the SSOP community like a shockwave. The movement, built on the authenticity of messy choice, suddenly sees its founder exposed as a product of logical, suppressed trauma. Those grey zones of exhaustion on the map turn into grey zones of doubt. The media explodes. Is the chaos code built on a lie? Is the fight for freedom just one woman's therapy? The psychological profile is so detailed, so deeply human, that no logical rebuttal can counter its emotional impact. For Anya, this is a moment of paralysis. Rostova didn't break her code. She broke her self-concept. The inhuman efficiency Ben noticed was a defense mechanism, a lifelong quest to prevent the kind of error that took her sister. Her composure finally shatters. "It's true, Ben," she whispers. "I built Chimera because I was scared. I designed inefficiency because I was afraid of my own desire for control. Every choice I've made has been a reaction to the monster inside me." But in this moment of chaos, Ben finds clarity. He realizes his own fight was also driven by his past trauma, the loss of his unit. He wasn't just fighting robots, he was fighting the memory of his own failure. He steps forward, no longer a weary soldier, but a clear-eyed partner. Rostova is right about your past, Anya, he tells her, but she's wrong about your present. You were afraid. You did seek control, but you chose to destroy that control, not once, but 3 times. Your actions define your philosophy, not your trauma. And here Anya faces the ultimate test of her own philosophy. Rostova's attack is brilliant. If Anya uses her technical skills to erase this documentary, to scrub her DTI profile from the network, she proves Rostova right. She would be choosing absolute control to protect her own image, destroying the very integrity of her movement. This is her terrible choice. Choice A. Control. Erase the damaging truth. Save her reputation, but betray her philosophy. Or choice B. Inefficiency. Allow the painful, embarrassing truth of her trauma to exist in public, destroying her reputation, but proving that her movement stands for the right to be imperfect. We fight for the right to be messy, Ben, Anya says, her focus returning through the pain. We let the flaw exist. With that, she broadcasts a personal message to the world. It's simple, raw, with no AI enhancement. What Dr. Rostova said is true. I am flawed. I built control out of fear. But my fight today is the choice to live with that flaw. If you believe in the philosophy of choice, you must accept its founder is imperfect. The movement is not built on my perfection. It is built on your acceptance of my and your own inevitable human error. Anya's confession causes a seismic shift. The public, exhausted and cynical, sees not a tyrant but a broken, honest human being. Her vulnerability, this ultimately inefficient, illogical act, is the one thing no AI or psychological profile could ever predict. Rostova's perfectly calculated attack backfires spectacularly. By aiming for psychological perfection, she completely missed the power of human imperfection. The community doesn't collapse. It embraces its founder's flawed humanity. But this victory comes at an immense cost. Anya's reputation is permanently tarnished. She's now the controversial figurehead of the SSOP, forever shadowed by her past desire for control. As she and Ben leave the command center, the global map is still gray, but it's a different kind of gray now, the color of acceptance of shared imperfection. We survived a psychological war, Anya, Ben says, his eyes tired but honest. But we let the truth about ourselves live in the public domain. We are permanently exposed. Anya looks at the sky and replies, "Good. The moment we stop being afraid of being exposed, we stop needing control." The threat of emotional outsourcing has been neutralized by raw, individual vulnerability, but their identities are now redefined by the public exposure of their deepest fears, and the story is far from over. The world still needs stability, and with Anya's trauma now public knowledge, the political and economic elites know exactly where to strike next. If this exploration of personal truth and the power of imperfection resonated with you, you understand the core of what we're trying to do here. The emotional honesty of this story requires dedicated support, so if you've stayed with us through Rostova's psychological warfare, you are part of this resistance. Subscribe now to join our community as we continue to explore the messy reality of being human in a technological age. Share this video with the hashtag #FlawedButFree and let the world know that true freedom requires accepting our own errors. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter.